Hi everybody. Here we are back at our trusty bandsaw, and today we're going to talk about techniques for sawing accurately when you're cutting to a curved line. And of course curves are important to guitar makers, and we often find ourselves trying to do accurate work, particularly when we're making tooling. Every time we walk up to the bandsaw, we would like to be careful to get the best work we can out of it, and of course work safely. I've got a sharp 1/4-inch blade here. I think it's 1/6 per inch. Pretty typical blade for general woodworking, and I feel it's my favorite kind of saw blade for general work in the shop. Now I can't remember exactly what they say the smallest curve you can cut with a 1/4-inch blade is, but why don't we crab the blade and find out what that is right now. Okay, well, a little burning here, but I think you can see the cut is just fantastic. It's almost polished. If I'd done this a little faster, maybe we wouldn't have burning. Let me try it again. Oh, kind of a cool finish. This is almost polished. It is polished. It's incredibly slippery and smooth. And toasted. All right, so that got pretty hot. Normally, we won't be cutting a small curve like this. Here's a piece of my guitar pattern, more typical for what we're going to do, but I just wanted to show you what happens when the blade is turned very sharply. It behaves incredibly well. Now, why is it behaving like this? Because if we just take a regular cut, we see all kinds of chattering nonsense here. There's big ridges and a resonance. And this is nothing like the quality of cut here. So we're going to have to ask ourselves, why is that? All right, so in this case, the blade was unsupported since I cut straight through the material. The blade teeth are the only parts of the saw blade that's touching the work, right? But when we cut a curve, we rub on the back side of the blade, and it gives us some stabilization. So that's why I started this riff by trying to cut out the smallest diameter we could, because it shows what happens when the blade has support at the back. It behaves in a whole different way than when it doesn't have support. I think you'll agree. Same blade, same saw, same piece of wood. Unbelievable polished wood. And then this, full of chatter and problems, right? I'm going to try, when I cut along this line, to engage the back end of the blade. In other words, I'm going to lean on the back end of the blade, and I'll be watching the front while it's cutting, but I'm going to try and keep a little bit of pressure on the back side of the blade in this direction. So it's going to stabilize the blade, and it's going to give me a better cut. Let's try it. All right, so we have variable results here. First of all, you can see on this part of the cut, the blade has behaved quite a lot better. This kind of almost straight part of the line that I was sawing to, I was able to lean on the back of the blade and get it to stabilize. You can see it's a better cut. Then, when I got in here, I got in trouble because I was turning from one curve to the other curve, and then throughout this curve, the big curve, I also have, you know, some bad behavior on my part, I might add, that made some bumps. So that's not perfect. And now I'm going to keep trying. And I would say that a lot of times, if you need to do something critical, no matter what it is, practice is not a bad idea. All right, so now you can see we did a little better. Still having a little trouble getting through this tight corner without a little lumpiness. But you can see over here, I got a good quality of cut. And likewise here, I did a little better. But you can see in the middle of this cut, in the curved, most curved part, where there isn't a lot of support, it's a little bit tougher to get a good surface. Well, let me try it again. Yeah, I'm having trouble in this part of the curve where it curves so much. Even though I'm trying to lean on the back of the blade through this, it's not working as well as I had hoped. Now, part of the reason is that the grain lines are going to be inducing harmonic resonance through here. That you can see the evidence of that in the cut. Whereas here, same material, I was able to lean on the back of the blade and get a much higher quality surface. Anyway, so it's something that we can try to do that helps us in a cut. If we can lean on the back of that surface, it'll help us guide and steady the blade through the cut and get a better surface. So that's what I wanted to talk about today.